Following a phenomenal set of sporting performances in both Punta Arenas and Miami, players from the Falkland Islands Hockey Association finally returned home last weekend after spending 4 weeks abroad representing the islands. Friends and family, poised and eager to greet the returning athletes, welcomed the team back to a homecoming reception hosted at the Narrows restaurant. How does it feel to be back in Stanley after all this time?
Well, while I was in Miami, it was like it's been a year. It felt like a year since I was away. But it's good to be coming back, especially from the weather.
And what do you think the best bit about travelling and going to Miami and competing was for you?
Just playing hockey, really. Just get the memory of playing hockey and going over to a different country.
Was this the first time you've travelled?
Yeah, the first time I've travelled without my mum or family. So yeah, it felt pretty good there.
And can you tell me a little bit more about the tournaments? Like, what were some of the challenges for you as a team?
I mean, it was very challenging considering we hadn't been on ice for a long time. We had to basically learn how to skate again. And then with that, we also had to challenge ourselves by playing pretty much pro players or future pro players, so NHL prospects, which we didn't expect to be the level of the tournament was. But as long as we showed that we were able to keep driving and keep it competitive, but other than that, I think we did really well to do so.
They all did incredibly well, just took it in their stride, and really, just kept smiling the whole time, even in those real challenging games. We had a couple of those, but they just kept smiling by the end and, really enjoyed it. And, I think there's a lot to be gained from not only going and competing and winning tournaments is great, but also just being able to go and compete internationally is a massive benefit to us and as a club and as a sport, but also to the players themselves. We've seen dramatic changes in players when they've been away, in terms of confidence and just kind of better world knowledge and that sort of stuff really helps.
And is this your first international competition?
No, I've been to a few before.
And how did this one sort of compare to the other ones that you've taken part in?
It was a lot tougher, but a great experience.
And what would you say is going to be your biggest memory or your favourite kind of memory that you'll take away?
Going to the Panther Stadium, it's amazing. Going to Miami as well, it's so fun. It's so fun. Seeing other players, making new friends, it's so good.
Do you have any plans for the future with your hockey?
Well, next year I'm definitely going to Miami next year, and maybe Punta if it's still on.
And in Miami they did an amazing job. The standard was incredibly high, and our players just really played their hearts out. Really showed a lot of people what the Falklands was about, and how we were passionate about hockey and how we can compete on that kind of stage.
And no doubt that the competitive spirit will be reinvigorated among players for tournaments in the near future. But for now, it's a well done and welcome home.